you take the time out at the beginning. The urge is to jump in because you're so excited. You're like, I know what I want to do, I'm going to do it. And the urge is to jump in without taking that time at the beginning to pause and say, what am I going to jump into? What do I want it to be and look like?
Hey there, and welcome to the Master Your Business podcast, the show where we dig into what makes your professional services business really tick. I'm your host, Deirdre Martin. You know those moments where you've got a kick-ass strategy, a plan to make it rain clients and money, but things just aren't clicking? I know I've certainly been there, and I know plenty of you listening have been there too. And today we're talking about why your mindset might be the secret ingredient your business is missing. Now, I know you've already got a mindset, but maybe it's holding you back. And in my first few months working with a coach, she said to me, Deirdre, when you want to progress, your brain has like a toddler running around inside there with a knife saying, no, don't do that. And so that's why today my guest, Fiona Brennan, and let me tell you, this woman knows her stuff. She's coming on to help you maybe identify if your mindset might be a little toddler with a knife running around inside your brain, okay? Fiona helps ambitious women take their big dreams and turn them into the kind of success that will give you chills. Fiona gets that it's not just about the steps or the strategy, but who's walking them and how you're feeling as you're walking them. So get ready to be inspired. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Because today we're talking about mindset matters, why it's the key to making your strategy work. We're talking about your vision and your life and creating a business that fits your goals, not the other way around. And one of my favorite subjects and things to do, simplifying success. How if you declutter your mind, you can declutter your business, and that can be the very thing that leads to success. So get your pen and paper ready, sit back, listen, and enjoy the conversation. Delighted to have you join me for the Master Your Business podcast.
I am absolutely delighted to be here, Deirdre. I'm very excited.
Ooh, well, I've brought you on to talk about all things mindset and strategy because, speaking from personal experience, I know that both are absolutely essential to accelerate and master your business success, but one without the other is like a missing piece of the puzzle. So tell us a little bit about you and how you came to be the one who can fantastically put all these things together.
Great. Excellent. Thank you, Deirdre, for having me on. And you are absolutely 100% correct. Success is mindset plus strategy. It has been said that it is 80% mindset and 20% strategy. It's probably correct, but it might be more 70-30, but definitely you need both. You absolutely need both because you cannot do the list of the things, the 5 steps, the 10 steps, whatever, if your head is not in the right place. That's the way I describe it. Why do I know this and how did I discover this? I am a project engineer. I'm a mechanical engineer by degree, project manager by trade, as I call it. Been a project manager for 20 years. And what is project management and what has it to do with all of this? Well, project management is simply taking a vision and bringing it to fruition. So an idea of what something in the future looks like, whether that be a small change or a big change or whatever, or physical change, and taking all the steps, all the actions that you need it to be to make it a reality. So you work with the end in mind. Here's what I want it to look like. Now go back to where we are right now and take all the steps. So project management at the core is very action-based. It's very planned. It's very strategic. I did that really well. I think I was born to manage. What I discovered was it's not just about the steps, it's who is taking the steps and everything about the who, because it's all about people. So when you study project management, majority of the study is based around the plans, the risk registers, the scope of works, all of the those juicy paperwork stuff. But how do you actually carry out a project? You need the people. You need the right people. And then you need the people, those right people need to know what they need to do. And they need to be empowered as such with everything that they need to do the things. So a successful project is only as successful as the people who are doing it. And therefore the manager of that is the successful project manager. So that's that beautiful piece. Where does the mindset come in? You can have all the lists, you can have all the plans in the world, all the lists, all the things you want to do. But if your head is not lined up with those plans, if you are not confident, if you don't know how, if you don't believe in it, then it's really hard to do the steps. It's not impossible. It's not impossible to have a successful business on strategy alone. It is so much harder, and it impacts your health and your well-being when you don't have the mindset support behind it. And also your business can only grow as much as you grow. So this is what I discovered on the journey when I decided to set up my own business, because this is where I suppose the piece of growth came in changing from being the employee project manager. I was still employee, I was working for somebody else. So as an employee, you have the backing of the company that you're working for. So yes, it's me, I'm the project manager, things assigned to me, I'm going to do all the things. But at the end of the day, I still got that backing of the name of the company. So it's not quite all on my shoulders. Okay, I might get a great review at the end of it, I did mess it up, but it's still not quite all on my shoulders. It's under the company name. When you step away and you think, oh, you know what? I love doing that. I'm great doing that. Why don't I just do that for myself? Why don't I just offer this brilliant thing that I'm so good at doing to other people and other businesses rather than just keeping it all to one company? I know how to do that. Okay, great. I'll go off and I'll register and I'll get my COR number and set myself up. And here I am, Fiona, I'm project manager, I'm doing it for something. What happens is you suddenly, that backing of the company that you had is no longer there, and that suddenly just floors you. You don't think about it when you're doing the move, but then all of a sudden, sugar, it's just me. It's just Fiona. Can I actually do this? Of course you can't. No, but really, can I? And then you're in a meeting with all the same people you might have been in a meeting with before, but all of a sudden, you're no longer the company name, you're you. And this is the pinch point that got me discovering mindset and coaching, because I suddenly lost all value and self-confidence in myself when I moved from employee to sole trader, business owner, solopreneur, whatever you want to call it.
Amazing story, Fiona, and thanks for sharing where you're at. But you're not there now. You're flying it, and your confidence, everything else is like woohoo, right?
Yes, absolutely. So that was the little tipping point, the turning point, which led me to discovering personal development, something that I would have stayed miles away from up to that point. I knew it existed, but I didn't really know what it was about. And I thought, I don't need that. I'm good. I know how to do my job every day. I'm fine. I'm married. Everything's fine. But when I discovered the coaching and what coaching does, it gets you to work on you. So it's not just about me helping my clients, it's the work of me. And once you start the work of you, you never stop, because you just keep growing and growing. And when you grow, your business grows. So it's very much success from the inside out, which happens to be the name of one of my programs I offered, Inside Out Success. But it's when you do the work internally of your beliefs, your values, your everything that you are standing for, what's important for you, and what's getting in your way, and understanding all of that, and understanding what trips you up, just really understanding this person behind on the inside. When you start to establish that and grow with that, your business then grows.
Yeah, it's so true. You've said so much there that I want to go back and unpack a lot of that, if that's okay. But I completely agree with you. And I think what's fascinating as well is that often we're best placed to serve the people we once were. So I think for people in businesses maybe starting out who were where you are now, or even who are now where you were then, is what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
But I also completely agree with you with success comes from the inside out. It was funny because the other day, like I have a 15-year-old teenage daughter and she knows everything. Oh, she knows everything. She's so smart and she is really smart. But I said to her, I can't pour any cream in on top of your cup if it's already full. As a bit of an analogy insofar as that, where I'm going with this is it is about mindset. If you know everything, you're not open to learning anything new. And I think that self-development journey and the strategy piece, both of them are development journeys. Because some people, in my opinion, and this can be me, I get so stuck in the weeds doing the work and trying to get the deliverables out for clients and create really great experiences when I engage with my clients that I sometimes don't step away to be strategic. So that vision piece, Fiona, a lot of people struggle with that vision piece. I'm fine at doing, but it's stopping to create that vision. So for people who are a bit like me with that sometimes, how or what should they do to help start with creating that sort of vision?
Yeah, that's great. It's a great question. And it's a great point to just highlight because for me, everything starts with vision, and I guess it does come from the project manager in me as well, especially from a construction point of view, because if you think of you're building a house, you're not going to just bring in the builder and say, look, you should just dig the hole there and just throw up those walls and sure, we'll figure out what the windows, it's like you'll eventually get something constructed. Like it's not going to be, you'll build something, but it will have no shape or make to it. It'll cost you so much more money. It'll cost you a lot of heartache and pain. There'll be rivalry between everybody, and it just doesn't flow. So it's the same thing. You need the blueprint of the business that you're looking to build, and not just the business. This is the piece that's missing a lot, especially when you go to start your own business courses, which are brilliant, but they are all about like the strategy, but it's of the business. Because it's not just the business, it's your life around the business. Because what can happen is you can get deeply sucked in, and the life of freedom and flexibility that you thought you were going to just create because, hey, I'm just not going to be a 9-to-5 anymore. I'm not going to answer to anybody. I'm going to have my own hours, do my own thing. This is going to be so brilliant, so amazing. And then before you know it, you're actually probably working 20 hours a day, 6 days a week. And you're like, what about those beach days? What happened to that idea? So anyway, so it's a blueprint for everything. It's the life around the business and the business itself. Without the blueprint, you can't start. So that's your end in mind before you even start to dig a hole in the ground. So it's very important to get that clear. How do you get that clear? You take the time out at the beginning. So it's the urge is to jump in. It really is, because you're so excited. You're like, I know what I want to do. I'm going to do it. And the urge is to jump in. But without taking that time at the beginning to pause and say, what am I going to jump into? What do I want it to be and look like? Now, you can do this vision piece at any point along the way, because at each stage, you might build your bungalow first, and then you might decide, actually, I want to convert that to a two-story. In fact, actually, then I want to extend that into an 8-bedroom house. And that's the way your business grows. So at each point, the vision has to be redrawn up. So it is a matter of taking the time out back away to say, look at all angles. What is it that I'm actually working towards? And when you've got the vision, then everything will become so much easier, because you now know the right builder to bring in. You now know how easy it is to just order that set of windows. And I know I'm using construction here, but I know hopefully people connect with it. It just makes decision making so much easier, because it's just, yes, that fits or it doesn't fit. That aligns or it doesn't align. that's the right color or it's not the right color. You're the right fit for me as a coach or a client, or you're not. Everything just becomes a lot more easier. You start to know what to say yes to and no to. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question?
Totally makes sense. And actually, if I use similar construction analogies when I'm talking about brand strategy, because I talk about marketing your business without a brand strategy is like building bricks without laying a foundation. And eventually they can just fall over. It's if I huff and I puff, I'm going to blow the house down, and the house will blow down because you haven't laid the foundation. And again, the wall might stay up for a while. It could be great, but without that foundation and clarity that of where you're going or what you're doing and why and how, all of that stuff, it just doesn't, you don't get to your end destination. So
Yeah.
I think you're saying the same, but we're talking about different things, but it's the same principle applies, I think. Yeah.
It is the same principle. And also say the brand strategy, for example, is a strategy. So branding is a strategy. So when you have your vision of what you want your business to be at, and each stage, each level you get to, your vision will change, your vision will be revised, upgraded, whatever, because you're learning and you're growing. So you're like what I saw at the beginning, year one, I see totally different now because I've learned and I've grown and I've discovered all these wonderful different things. The branding piece, for example, when you've got the vision, it's okay. So that's a strategy now that feeds into my blueprint.
Yeah.
For example, the financial support that you need, that's another piece that feeds into the blueprint. The right financial support, IT support, where does that need to be? And where it is at the beginning will be different as you go along the levels, as you expand and grow your business or build your house, whichever way you want to say it.
Yeah, I love that. And I think it's important because sometimes as business owners, especially people starting out, and I know a lot of people listening, they're well established in their businesses, and they might be the CEO at the top of the business, and then maybe they have a chief operating officer, chief marketing officer, a chief financial officer. And even if all of those things are outsourced, or they might have a business development person, they might have the IT person, the HR department. The CEO is nearly like a project manager then of their own business, yes. Right? And even at that, sometimes for those strategy bits, people need help and guidance, Fiona, because it can be hard to pull out of you yourself what that strategy is, and you don't know what you don't know, right?
Exactly, absolutely. So this is why the mindset and strategy are the two pieces of the jigsaw. They're the two ingredients along the way. So like your vision is your outer blueprint, but then to actually make that vision come true, you need the mindset and the strategy, and one interweaves with the other. So when you work with your values and your beliefs and everything that serves your mindset and the story that you're telling yourself, that helps then you to do the strategy. So it's the magic of the mindset and the practicality of the action. So it's human beings, we're doing, but we need to also be who we need to be to make that vision a reality. At each step of the way, who do I need to be today? What version of Fiona do I need to be today for the things that I need to do? Do I need to be really focused and say, be very strict on my time today? Other days I might not need to be. I might need to be very open and outwardly networking or whatever. It changes, but it's just really checking in on yourself. Who do I need to be? Because I am the person who's going to do the things. This body is a doing machine with the hands and the legs and the voice, whatever. But who am I on the inside that actually will dictate what those hands do, what that voice says, or in some cases what that voice doesn't say.
I love what you said there. It's the magic of the mindset and the practicality of the strategy. I love that. And it's so true. And I think one of the things that you talked about earlier, and because I said there was a lot to unpack with that initial talk that you gave or at the start there. And one of the things you were saying was projects need people, right? And often starting out, we're doing everything ourselves. and it's our mindset and it's our strategy and things. And yeah, maybe we have other people externally that help us, coaches like you and project managers like you, or brand and marketing people like me. But let's say in terms of employees and people that come into your business to support you, as a project manager, how do you, or the CEO of your business and your life, how can you influence or support those people's mindsets so that, to use Jim Collins's phrase, you have the right people on the bus?
Yeah, we're all leaders. We're all leaders at every piece of our life. It's not, oh, I'm not a leader because I'm not whatever doing that. But no, actually you are. You're a leader of your own life. And you actually lead the people around you by who you show up as and what you do, because you lead by example. So you may have heard, if you've got kids, you may have heard that they hear what we say, yes, but they actually really mimic what we do and who we are and the energy that we have. And one of the things that I discovered, and just, I suppose, because it's all connected, because who you are in one place is who you are in every place. And you get it right at home, you also get it right in your business. And also if you get it right in your business, you also get it right at home. For example, for me, as I said at the beginning, I didn't know anything about personal development. I didn't want to know anything about personal development. I thought, sure, I'm good. Who needs that stuff? Certainly not me. Until I went to become a business owner and discovered that actually, okay, what's going on here? I need something, and realized that was what I was missing. But the impact wasn't just in my business. The impact was also at home. And the crazy mother that the kids had been used to suddenly started to change. And I didn't realize, I didn't see the difference that was happening until quite a while into it, probably a year or so later, when one day I actually was, I suppose, I let my guard down, or not even my guard, but I just lost it. Let's say I lost it, lost the rag, whatever. It's like, and not actually very lost it, just lost it a little bit. But my son came up to me and he said, "What's wrong? What's wrong with you?" Like, it suddenly became alien to them. This anxious, angry mother was seen so little now compared to what they had been used to. They adapt to suit. When he said this question and I thought about it, and I realized, oh yeah, actually, it has been quite a very much more quieter, calmer house. As my levels of anxiety and reactiveness come down, so also do theirs. As my language changes, because I'm learning how to tell a better story for everything that I want to achieve, so also there's theirs. So apply the same logic in your business and the people that you're employing or contracting with, even if it's like very likely contracting with, the words we use, who we show up as, the energy that we have and we emit has that knock-on impact. So my mindset impacts others subtly without you having to say to them, listen, I think you need to go and do a little bit of work there now, love. You be the leader and it ripples out. For mindset, for all this personal development, mindset work of you, growth of you, whatever way you want to say it, all the phrases are out there. There's a phrase where you can bring the horse to water, but you can't make it drink. But in this space, you can't even bring the horse to the water. You can only go to the water yourself, and they will see you going to the water, and then you'll be drinking the water, whatever. So does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm just thinking of, what's it called? Pride Rock, isn't that where Simba and his dad are there in The Lion King? And one lion has to lead and go to the water and the rest of them follow. It's the same with the elephants. There's always a leader when they're going looking for the water and they're migrating or whatever. Yeah, somebody has to take the lead and the rest follow. And that makes total sense. And that can be hard to do when your inner thoughts are restricting you, and I suppose I'm going back to what you'd said around your self-confidence dipping, and because running your business is lonely and it's freaking hard. And one of my recent guest episodes with the amazing Niamh Hannon, we talked about emotions in business. And as leaders, sometimes and business owners, you feel like you can't let your guard down, as you said. You can't lose the rag with people who are working with you, because what impact is that going to have on them? So it's holding it together as much as possible. But if your inner self-confidence is dipped, or you've got limiting beliefs for whatever reason, we talk about coaching and how it can work. It works on you. But for a lot of people, they may not be aware of what coaching is, or they think it's life coaching, which doesn't have positive connotations associated with it so much anymore, I don't think. So what would you recommend for people who've never been coached before, who are maybe feeling a little bit that way? They can hear those inner thoughts telling them, no, you can't get to the next level, or no, you can't do this, or what do you suggest?
Yeah. So it's very true. Coaching now has, I suppose, it is bandied about a lot. Life coaching now, it's very generic, and there's lots of coaches, and there's coaches that focus on different things. So first, I would say it's about finding the right coach for the place and piece that you are at right now, and the coach that you need will change as you change. So who you need at the beginning, you need somebody else later, whatever, to suit the growth levels that you particularly go at. But coaching is very simple. It's built on the essence that we have all the power within us to be, do, and have whatever we so desire. So if you consider that we have all the power, so I have power, you have the power, everybody else has the power, okay? So it's not for me to give you your power if you're my client, Deirdre. It's for me to help you to see that you have it, and help you to see how you can use it, help you to discover it, pretty much bring it out of you for the piece that you need to get you on the journey that you're going on as you need it. So we're not going to open it all up and strip you all back and voila, there you are. It's a piece at a time, because if you've considered the beautiful born baby, all gorgeous and cute and happy, and it comes into the world perfectly whole, okay, from the inside out, perfectly whole from the inside out. But from the moment, and actually, I suppose there is science now saying that it happens even before our little creature is born into the world, but the impact of society and whoever is around, and what it hears and what it sees, starts to put this layer of material on it. And when you go through that for decades before you realize that you've got this big, itchy, hairy cardigan that doesn't fit, and it's like, just take it off me, to discover the wholeness of you that's inside you. So we're trying to untangle all the stuff, biases, beliefs, things that was all around you with the good in mind. It wasn't intentional to wire you up, but we want to start peeling that back one thread at a time. Because if you ripped it all off, then it would just curl up. It's just too much. So coaching is bringing it out one piece at a time. And we don't want to shock the system. So it's like anything, when you start a new habit, and you want to start a new thing, it's always take the smallest change, because your mind is wired to stay the same. And if you try to go all in, it'll just balk at that change. So if you start to just do it small, it's like just walking through a field. You want to change paths. So just go one little step at a time, and you just keep going down that same path, creating this new path, and then all of a sudden, that grass will start to wear down, and then it becomes like, well, it was like it was always the way. I don't know if that makes sense.
I love that. That's a really nice description of it, Fiona, I think. And as we come to wrap up nearly what we've been talking about, there's some magic in what you said. And again, I love that the baby's perfectly wholesome before it comes out, and then the layers just get added as it gets older, and your mind is wired to stay the same. I think it's so true. But for us to grow and accelerate and achieve success, and success is not always monetary for people. Success can be working 3 days a week and paying off your mortgage. It can be really different for different people.
Absolutely.
And it can be doing things for your community and having an impact in the world. It can be anything. And so when I talk about success, that's what I mean. It's not monetary, but I know a lot of business owners out there, they're driven by money so that they can do all of the other things. But let's say, as we wrap up from a strategy and a coaching perspective, for somebody who's struggling with one or the other, or maybe both, what advice would you give them in terms of where to start?
Where to start? You can hire me. But no, where to start is really, you know what, I love to just clear off the table, just for all the world, if you were to just sweep all the stuff that's in your head, like just get it onto paper and then just clear it off. And then before you reset the table, just, okay, what do I really need to bring back up here? Because I may think that I need X, Y, and Z, but really, what's actually real? What do I really need? Pausing to consider. If it can be simple, actually, let's rephrase this. If it could be simple, easy, and fun, what do I want to put back up on the table? Where do I want to start? And when I decide what I want to put back up on the table, what help do I need with this piece? Who do I need to contact? Because we all need somebody. In fact, we need several people. But what is that like community or team that I want to build? And then what do I need to do for myself to help me then to bring this together? To make this table stay clean and clear, simple and easy. If the idea of a lot of my clients that I work with are maybe have come from employment and they've started their own business, and some have been working as a business owner for years as well. If the idea, the concept is what being your own boss has that freedom and flexibility with it and lighterness to it, then really looking back, okay, wherever you are right now, whether you're at the beginning or whether you're a few years in or you're well established, just look at your table as an analogy and say, okay, what's on it that I just don't like? I don't want this to be part of mine. I want to get rid of this. This is causing me, when you look at it, that it's making you feel just, your body senses the stuff before your mind. So I think one of the key things that I know I work with my clients more and more is tuning into your body, listening to your body, really noticing what is it that your body is telling you through its sensations. Because we can, especially if we're very active overachievers, we tend to just ditch it and scratch, just never mind that, just like my head is telling me. We start to move away from, never mind what your head is telling you. What's your body telling you? What's your gut telling you? And then put back up on the table what feels good. And then looking at, okay, so who do I need to help me now take this further, to develop this further? And then what work do I need to do on myself, on my mindset? And as I said in the beginning, mindset is it's a word that you hear a lot, but what does it actually mean? Mindset as a definition is like, what is your mind set to for any given scenario? So what is your mind? Is it fixed to a story? And is that story serving you in the right way, or is it disservicing you? Is it empowering you, or is it disempowering you? Is it making you feel good, or is it making you feel crap? And if it's any of the second ones, disempowering, feeling crap, not serving you, what do you want to change it to? What could you change it to? Because you can grab the pen and a blank sheet of paper and decide to write your own story. So what's the story that you want to tell? What is the setting of the mind that you want? And let that be your new mindset.
Love that. Okay, let me summarize that, okay, really quickly. So clear off the table, right? Swiping it all clean. It's like decluttering the mind. I love that, actually. I'm like, I can picture myself doing that. What do you really need to put back on the table so that it's simple, easy, and fun? I love that as well, because sometimes as business owners, I was actually talking about this to somebody yesterday. We overcomplicate things. We think that things need to be complicated for us to be successful, but actually they don't. And simple, that word you used, is really powerful, I think. And then what help do I need? What do I need? What do I need myself to be, or what do I need to do myself to make this idea simple, clean, and easy? Then regularly revisit that table. What have you put on it that's no longer serving you or feels good? And then take it off and only leave the things on the table that feel good and that your gut tell you are good. And then again, look at what help do you need? What do you need your mindset to be? And set your mind to the way you want it to be.
Yes. Set it. You've heard this before, write your own story, be your own writer, but that's basically what it means in any given moment. And Deirdre, this is the thing, it's not like a big whopping story. It's like in any given moment, what am I telling myself? What's the story I'm spinning about whatever it is? It's about money or about clients or about the work I'm about to do. It's, oh my God, my taxes are so boring. Like, how will I ever get them done? Really, so if you go into the room with that energy, it's blah, 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 blah. It takes twice as long, 3 times as long, and it's gosh. But actually, do you know what? My taxes don't have to be that. How can I make it 10% more fun? Let's bring in the radio, play some music. That's very old, they bring in the radio.
You play it on Alexa. No, I hear you.
Make it more fun.
Part of that is like celebrating that. Oh my gosh, I have tax to pay.
I have taxes. I get to do taxes, which means I must have a business.
Yeah.
And I've just learned accountancy. But look at all the skills I'm developing. So change the story. It's how can I make it more fun? How can I make it more simple? If it feels complicated, it probably is complicated. So again, what we mentioned in the beginning, taking time to just step back and just say, does it really need to be like this? What if I could change it? What if I could change it? What if I could make it different? What if I could make it more simple? For anything, any of it, like business and the home stuff, any of it. How can I make it more simple and easy?
People are going to have to reach out to you, Fiona, to get help with that. So tell us as we wrap up, where can they find you to help make everything simple and easy?
Simple and easy and fun. I'm on LinkedIn, probably most of the time on LinkedIn under Fiona M. Brennan, and just send me a message, DM me there. And I have, my business is Inspire Action Success, which was the very first thing I created. Because why did you want to set this business up, Fiona? Because I wanted to inspire people to take the right action to achieve their success, their business success. And so if you look up Inspire Action Success, there's a little inquiry button that you can book a call with me there. Yeah, they're the two places. And to mention, just when you were talking in the beginning about taking that time out and stepping away to get clear on your vision, at any point in your journey, whether it's the beginning, the middle, or whatever point you're at, I've launched a new 3-day retreat, which is specifically designed for your business vision. So the next one for that is actually November. It's fresh off the press as of yesterday evening. And there's a beautiful early bird for that. And I would encourage people, even if it's not this one, but just to get into the habit, put it into the diary of creating space out to create a vision. Start to believe the fact, and I'm still working on this myself, okay, but that a piece in the calendar, it says, do nothing, go for a walk, refresh your vision, whatever it might be, that seems, oh, that's not really doing anything. That's actually a business strategy. Doing nothing, taking time out for you is a business strategy.
Love it. Love it. Fiona, thank you so much for joining us today. And yeah, folks, thanks for tuning in.
Thank you, Deirdre. It's been fun.
Whoa, Fiona dropped some serious knowledge bombs there today, didn't you, folks? Remember that mastering your mindset is potentially how you go from good on paper to heck yeah, that's my business. And I absolutely freaking love it. So if you loved this episode, if you freaking loved this episode, and I kind of really hope you did, show me some love, rate, review, or subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast app. Let's spread the word about mastering your business.